So this is a quick list of the things that I do not like about the Mustang Mach-E. But first, I'd like to preface this by saying that overall, I really like the car, especially because for me, it was not a Tesla. I feel like everybody has a Tesla. I like the look of this car. It is nice overall, but this list is stuff that I really don't like. But again, the pros outweigh the cons. So here we go. In no particular order, I'll start with the fact that there is no inside release for the trunk space area. It's digital. You have to actually go into the settings and hit a button to access it. Now, what's annoying about that is that they actually put a manual button for the front trunk, aka the frunk, but I can't understand why they wouldn't put a physical release button for the trunk area. So that's the first one. Another thing I don't like about the Mustang Mach-E is that there is no on-demand access for the rear camera. Right now you are looking at the forward-facing camera. That's on demand, but there's no way to access the rear. This is an extended view of the front, and this is an artificial aerial view, which does show some items that are behind the vehicle, but you can't get this clear view on demand. The only way to access the rear camera is to put the car into reverse, and then you will gain access. I prefer it to be on demand. It drives me crazy. This brings me to my next point about something else that I don't like, is the fact that this vehicle does not have the camera security features that the Tesla has. Basically, my understanding of how the Tesla works is that anytime somebody comes up to the car or gets close to the car, the vehicle will record the action, and you'll get that alert sent directly to your phone. This vehicle, for whatever reason, unless I'm missing how to use it, it just doesn't do that. Something else that I don't like is that you can't download apps onto the infotainment center. I do understand that you have access to Android Auto and the iOS version as well, but personally I don't like hooking up my phones to the vehicle, so it would be great to have a way to just download the apps you want to use directly onto the infotainment center. Something else I don't like regarding the climate control settings, first of all, I don't think that the climate control should be inside of the tablet. It just requires too many steps in general, but okay, fine, so they put it in there, but then you have to do additional steps to access turning the AC unit on and off. So as it stands now, if the camera can pick this up, the AC is on right now, okay, but if I want to turn this off, I can't just hit the AC button. If I hit the AC button, the AC just turns off, but now the fan is still going. So if I want to turn this off, I have to push this button and then turn it all the way to off. It's just too many steps. If you're driving, you just want to turn the thing off. I really can't stand it. They could have literally put a button here to make this much more simple, but they didn't do that for whatever reason. Something else I don't like is that there's no way to remote start the vehicle with the actual key fob. The only way to do it is from the app, which that's fine, but again, most of the time it would be more convenient for me anyway to use this, because I always have this. I know you don't need this to start the vehicle, but personally I like to carry this around, so it'd be much faster to remotely start the vehicle with the key fob as opposed to the app. It just takes a few seconds that I know would not be required if the key fob could do it. Which brings me to another point. I don't like that when you do remotely start the vehicle with the app, you cannot control the climate at all. There is an auto feature that it automatically knows if the cabin is too hot, it will turn on the air, and vice versa. If it's cold outside, it'll turn on the heat. But I would like to manually control the climate. It would be much better. Another thing I don't like is that this wireless charge pad here is pretty much useless to someone who has a case on their phone, because you cannot use this at all if you have a case on the phone. This little lip here that they put it protrudes up in order to keep the phone in place, is pretty much it is what prevents this from making contact with the charge coil. Obviously, I understand why they did this, is because if this weren't there, you were driving the car, the phone would slip everywhere. But they made this the exact measurements of the phone, of larger phones, without a case on it, so you just can't use it, and it's pretty much useless. Another thing I don't like is that this sunshade is very cheap and flimsy, and it does not retract, which I find very strange. I don't even understand why it's discolored. I'm not sure if you can pick that up in the camera or not, but yeah, this is the sunshade, and I just feel like there had to be a better way to put a better sunshade in here, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, and lastly, what I don't like about the Ford Mustang Mach-E, for some reason the charger doesn't come with a dust cover, which is very strange. Other vehicles, other electric vehicles I've seen, the charger you can cover with a dust cap. At first I thought maybe I didn't see it in the packaging, or then I thought mine didn't come with it, and then I started looking online, and I see Ford just didn't give us one, which I just think is strange, and we're going to see how this holds up over time, especially since I have mine mounted outside of the house. So yeah, very, very odd things. Oh, actually, honorable mention, what I don't like is the way that this vehicle looks in comparison to the higher trim models. Now, you might say that would be obvious, but I kind of bought this car sight unseen. During the time there were no Mach-E's for display at the dealership, and so I ordered online, and online you couldn't really tell the difference between the way that the trims looked. It really just did not register online, but in person, when I picked this car up from the dealership and saw the higher end models, this, believe it or not, actually looks cheap in comparison. You just have to see it for yourself. The rims, the trim on the outside, the way that the vehicle sits, it stands, it just all looks very different. So I don't know, if you got the money and that matters to you, you probably want to go with the higher trim models. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.